Her passion for taking care of animals inspired her to start an animal welfare organization that will rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome neglected pets. This International Women's Day will speak to an empowered and brave woman who founded PAWSsion Project. Joining us now live via Zoom is Malou Perez. She founded PAWSsion Project Foundation in 2018. Good morning, Malou, and happy International Women's Day to you.
Hi, Sir Paolo. Good morning.
It's great to have you. Malou, let's talk about how it all started. It was in 2018, I think, when you refused to just stand by and, well, started rescuing and rehabilitating dogs in distress. What happened to you back then, Malou? What inspired you to really sort of put your heart into this and start the PAWSsion Project?
Well, growing up, I have always been a dog lover, actually. And it has always been my dream to put up an animal shelter. Although, it's one of those dreams that it's just in your head. But then the opportunity came when I saw a Facebook post about 50 dogs on death row that were to be killed by gunshot. And unfortunately, that's legal in the country. So initially, I just shared the post because 50 dogs is 50 dogs. But then I've always told everyone that I feel like this is a mission that God has for me and this is my life purpose. So I said yes to it without, without really having any knowledge on how to run a shelter. Just really, that faith in me that I wanted to save those dogs. So yeah, it was just because of a Facebook post that I said yes to, and fast forward to almost 5 years now. We already have 2 shelters and we've already saved more than 2,000 dogs and cats.
What a fantastic story, Malou. How many pets or animals counting since then? Did you say 2,000 or more?
Yeah, we've rescued more than 2,000. We currently shelter at least 600 dogs and cats in both of our shelters. And we have already rehomed over 1,000. 4 of those were international adoptions.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Now, do you think there's a need to open more of these animal shelters? I mean, how can people sort of take your idea and expand it?
Definitely, there really is a need to open up more shelters in the Philippines, but that is actually not the answer. Ever since I started PAWSsion Project, I've always accepted the fact that there is just no way we can rescue all of the strays in the country because there are currently at least 12 to 13 million strays in the Philippines. Yes, the shelters are very much needed, but the ultimate answer to this problem really is spay and neuter to address the overpopulation problem. Continuously raise awareness on the importance of responsible pet ownership, and hopefully, having the government really do their part as well, because even if there were many more Malus in the country, even if there are many more shelters in the country, it's just never going to be enough to address the problem. We really need the help of the government as well.
Right. Well, I think a few more Malus wouldn't go astray. Definitely, we definitely need more of people like yourself. Malou, how do we help educate people, though? I mean, you use the term responsible pet ownership. What exactly does that mean, and how can we in fact be more responsible pet owners?
Honestly, here at PAWSsion Project, we don't just want to stop at educating people to become responsible pet owners. We really want people to understand that it's really more of responsible pet parenting. When you know that you are a parent, you do everything for them. It's really beyond being just an owner. And I think having to know that you're a parent pretty much explains how you're supposed to take care of them. You should never give up on them when they're sick. You should never give up on them just because they're already old. You should not give up on them when they have tantrums or when they're quote-unquote aggressive. I feel like it's also very important that we integrate animal welfare already into the curriculum or even start educating the young ones, because even just the stigma that rabies is inborn, that it's being passed on to a lot of young people from, so many, elderly is already something. A lot of these factors really contribute to the abuse of animals, to the impounding of stray animals, just because people think that rabies is inborn. So we are really advocates of responsible pet parenting.
Well, what you've done is really so inspiring, and I think a lot of people will take inspiration from what you've achieved. Let me ask you this. What for you makes an empowered woman?
Well, I think an empowered woman is someone who also knows how to take care of herself. I started PAWSsion Project after years and years of self-love, after years and years of traveling and really knowing how to take care of myself, because you can never really pour from an empty cup. When I started PAWSsion Project, everything seemed very overwhelming for me as well. And I was one of those people who wanted to save the world. I mean, having to save voiceless animals who are so full of love and gratitude could be very addicting. But it is very important that we go back to our core. It is very important that we remember to take care of ourselves, because this advocacy is very exhausting. You save more than 2,000, but you get hundreds and hundreds of messages every day, never ending messages and reports of people asking for help. So it could get very exhausting if you don't take care of yourself. It could get very exhausting if this is really not what's for you. It could get exhausting if you don't really realize that it's your life purpose. So I guess, empowered woman is someone who knows her purpose, who knows how to go back to her core, and an empowered woman is someone who also knows how to empower other women. PAWSsion Project is actually comprised of at least 90+% women. Almost all of us volunteers are women. So I really believe that it's very important that, we women should empower other women. A number of our volunteers are mothers, a number of them are students, are working professionals, but we all try to juggle everything and doing what we can as well to contribute to addressing the animal welfare problem in the country.
Well, it really does show how inspiring what you've done is. You call it an addiction. We hope you never get better. But seriously, though, I'm glad to hear that you find the balance and find a way to continue to inspire and help other people sort of follow the same path that you seem to have found. Thank you once again, Malou, for joining us this morning, and happy International Women's Day. Thanks for joining us here on a new day.